Sheet metal, exercise 1, with the focus, bend radius, thickness and stretched length. How large should the bending radius be, and how does it affect the stability of the component, springback and stretched length? And how does the ratio between sheet thickness and bending radius affect the stretched length? This exercise explains these relationships and shows in detail how the stretched length is calculated using the neutral fiber. However, contrary to what is often shown, this is not located in the center, and its position changes dynamically. The aim of the course is not only to show how sheet metal parts are designed in NX, but also how sheet metal behaves as a material. To design sheet metal parts professionally, it is therefore essential to take a closer look at the subject. With that in mind, let me welcome you to the first exercise on sheet metal. Let's start with one of the most important questions in the design of sheet metal parts. How large is the bending radius? That depends, of course, on the material and the sheet thickness. Therefore, the bending radius should always be selected in proportion to the sheet thickness. For very hard steel sheets, a ratio of 3 or 4 may be necessary. This means that the bending radius is 3 times the sheet thickness. However, such large bending radii lead to significant springback. Steel has an elastic elongation of approximate 0.2%, permanent deformation only occurs beyond this point. After bending, the stretched outer fibers spring back by 0.2% of their length. Like tension springs, longer outer fibers have a longer spring travel. A large ratio between the bending radius and the sheet thickness may require an overbend of 5 degrees or more. However, the ratio of bending radius to sheet thickness not only influences springback, but also the position of the neutral fiber. Before answering the question about the size of the bending radius, let's take a look at the neutral fiber. Where is the neutral fiber? When bending, the outer fibers are stretched, and the inner fibers are compressed. The neutral fiber, which is neither stretched nor compressed, must therefore be in the middle. You could unwind it, like a thread, and then you would have the stretched length. But no, it's not that simple. To be clear, the neutral fiber is almost never located in the middle of the sheet thickness. In addition, its distance from the bending radius changes. This representation must be corrected. Only when the ratio is greater than 5 is the neutral fiber in the middle. The smaller the ratio, the closer the neutral fiber moves towards the bending radius. At a ratio of 1, the distance is approximately 0.32 times the sheet thickness. The outer fibers are now shorter, but also more stretched. But the springback is reduced to about 1 degree. The cross-section of this bar would become trapezoidal in the area of the bend. And the material thickness in the bend area decreases. And if the bending radius becomes even smaller, the distance between the neutral fiber and the bending radius decreases further. The sheet metal part also loses stability. To ensure that your calculation of the stretched length is as accurate as possible, NX offers several options for determining the position of the neutral fiber. The default setting under Menu, Preferences, Sheet Metal, is a fixed factor of 0.33. This means that the neutral fiber has a distance to the bending radius of 0.33 times the sheet thickness. But the factor is only 0.33 times the sheet thickness if the ratio of the bending radius to the sheet thickness is 1. For a ratio of 5 or greater, the factor is 0.5 times the sheet thickness. For an accurate calculation of the stretched length, this factor must therefore change dynamically. Calculation of the stretched length. Now it gets a little mathematical. The formula for calculating the neutral fiber must take the changing position into account. But it's like Hollywood. Ultimately, there's a happy ending and a very simple solution. Let's start with the simplest case. The bending radius is 5 times greater than the sheet thickness, and the neutral fiber is located in the center of the sheet. This is the first formula for calculating the stretched length. The first part of the formula calculates the radius of the neutral fiber. This is the sum of the bending radius plus the distance of the neutral fiber to the bending radius. Multiply by 2 to get the diameter, and multiply by pi to get the circumference of the circle. Of this circumference, we only need the part for the bend. So the result is divided by 360 and multiplied by the bending angle. The second part of the formula can be calculated more quickly and easily with radiant. For further information, please visit learnnx.com. Simply enter expressions in the search field. But if the bending radius isn't 5 times bigger than the sheet thickness, we need a dynamic correction. This small formula calculates a correction factor. This results in 1 for a value of 5. And results in 0.65 for a value of 1. As can be seen in the diagram, the C factor is getting closer and closer to 0, and thus to the distance of the neutral fiber. And results in 0.65 for a value of 1. Let us call the ratio between the bending radius and the sheet thickness BRT. It is calculated as follows. A ratio is always without units. If this ratio is now entered as a value, you get a self-adjusting correction factor. Multiplying the correction factor by half the sheet thickness automatically calculates the distance between the bending radius and the neutral fiber. It is now 0.5 for a BRT of 5 and 0.325 for a BRT of 1. The formula for calculating the length of the neutral fiber is supplemented accordingly and is now calculated as follows. This now results in automatic adjustment of the neutral fiber at a bending ratio of less than 5. The stretched length, LS, for both cases is therefore calculated as follows. If BRT is greater than 5, it is LS1. Otherwise, it is LS2. Calculation according to DIN 6935. Now for the promised happy ending. This formula corresponds exactly to the calculation according to DIN 6935. Under Preferences, Sheet Metal, Part Properties, select the Formula method and DIN 6935 as the formula. That's it. Your unfoldings will now be calculated precisely according to this formula. Of course, I could have shown this setting right away, but isn't it useful to know what is being calculated in the background? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Despite precise calculations, the manufacturing process also plays a role, as does whether the sheet metal was oiled or dry. My tip: if you don't know the conditions, always note that all information about the flat sheet metal part is for information only. Very small bending radius. If the bending radius is smaller than the sheet thickness, cracks may appear on the outside. In addition, the sheet thickness decreases even further in the area of the bend. Another practical tip: if you are forced to choose such a small bending radius, you should not bend the sheet metal parallel to the rolling direction, but rather perpendicular to it. If your component has several bends, rotate it by 45 degrees to the rolling direction, for example. Back to the question posed at the beginning. How large should the bending radius be? A good compromise between strong springback on the one hand and excessive stretching of the outer fibers on the other is a ratio of 1. And that will also be the default setting for the design of this first, simple sheet metal angle. Create a new sheet metal part. Sometimes it only becomes clear during the design process that the part should be made from sheet metal. That is why NX offers several ways for creating a sheet metal part. The course will teach you the different methods. In this exercise, however, we already know right from the start that this part should be made from sheet metal. A sheet metal part could also be created with the template model. But then you would have to switch to the sheet metal application. If you start directly with the sheet metal template, the sheet metal application is automatically launched, and all parameters are generated. In both cases, the parameters can be changed under Menu, Preferences, Sheet Metal. First, you set the main parameters. Here you can also set the calculation of the neutral fiber. The default settings can also be changed later. A look at the expression shows that all parameters have been generated. Now you're ready to begin. Typically, you start by defining a flat area to which flanges will be attached. Create this flat area using the tab command. Start the sketcher. And create a rectangle with dimensions 60 by 40. After finish the sketch, the command creates a rectangular plate. The thickness of the plate corresponds to the sheet metal thickness. Add the flange. Select the long edge. If you select the top edge, the flange will be created at the top. And if you select the bottom edge, it will be created at the bottom. As always in NX, you can deselect the selected edges by holding down the Shift key. The direction of the flange can also be changed using reverse direction. Select full as the width. This means that the flange will run along the entire length of the panel. If you select outside as the length reference, you can transfer the length directly from the drawing. The length and bending angle can also be changed dynamically in the graphics window. The other settings will be explained in the next exercise. Now the sharp corners are broken. The break corner command creates both chamfers and edge roundings. Simply select a surface, and all edges are broken. This not only completes the first simple part of the exercise, but also familiarizes you with the main parameters of a sheet metal part in detail. With flat solid, you can now check the stretched length and the cut. However, the flat solid command is only used to check whether the sheet metal part can be unfolded without errors. No problems are to be expected with this simple part. Outlines for drawings or laser contours are created with flat pattern, and we will also take a closer look at this command in the next exercises. As a test, you can now change the sheet thickness or the bending radius. Did you understand everything, or do you still have questions? Or are you struggling with specific problems in the design of your special sheet metal parts? Write to me in the comments.